what is going on?
Ask your mother.
Day of Reckoning. Yep, it's one of those movies that when you look at the cover, you think it's going to be something awesome, and then you remember it's made by freaking sci-fi.
Oh no.
And the only reason I was remotely interested in it is because it had monsters in it.
1,000-foot marker.
And so, as 600 other movies have already done, these people are drilling for something. Maybe for gold, or for some pharaoh's panties, and they hit a snag. Some big birdian bastards get upset because how dare these humans do this? They fly out in a massive swarm because why not? Don't know if I'd call this Epic Pictures Productions. Something really epic here. These things started immediately attacking everyone they see, and why am I getting Birdemic vibes from this?
Against these masses that are heavily calling demon hordes.
Reports of mass migration to the European.
Oh my god. Okay, I can't take this seriously when these things look like old first generation PlayStation graphics.
Stay in your home.
What in the... Stop. Flying ones are able to cover the globe pretty fast, granted. Where did the other ones come from that run on two legs? Were they carried by the bird things that fly? Do they have the ability to fly as well? Just in the span of time that destruction took, it just doesn't seem plausible that these things would have gotten as far as their flying counterparts. Unless, of course, they're coming from another section of the world, but we already shown that the whole reason these things were released in the first place is because the guys were drilling at that location. So wouldn't that require them all to escape from that location?
Coastline.
Oh, see, that's why it makes no sense, because it's very clear that these things can die, quite easily as a matter of fact. I mean, it just takes a bolt to the anus, that's all, and the walking ones could have been stopped. 15 years later, the first unbelievable thing for me, or at least the 22nd, is this guy working as a picker-upper for carrion. Look at his face. Does this look like the kind of person who'd be working a job like this? You got criminals nowadays that pose for their freaking mugshot and are given freaking model deals immediately.
This is Sarah Seawright. Her nickname is Prison Bay. She's accused of aggravated robbery, kidnapping, first degree, fairly pretty girl,
Okay,
right?
I guess
Regardless
so.
of everything. Okay, we'll give her the pretty stuff. Maybe she gets the modeling jobs like this guy. Remember him?
Yeah.
Jeremy Meeks?
Yeah, everybody was...
His dreamy mugshot earned him the nickname Hot Felon. That reportedly led to a modeling contract with White Cross Management before he served time in prison.
Also, the world clearly seems to be doing fine. So if anything, he'd be blowing pipes rather than crawling through vents to make someone real happy. I mean, I don't even know what that means. Orphan girl has skater boyfriend whose parents got divorced. That's all I need to know. And then after they've had many eclipses, one finally comes that brings the monsters with it after 15 years.
I'm looking to have a heartfelt conversation about what happened 15 years ago, if that's where this is going.
That's not where this was going. Why do you always do that? You always turn everything back on me.
He's literally doing nothing. Oh my god. So he picks up his son, and oh no, another event is happening, and it's for real. It's not a drill. And it's called the Day of Reckoning. They're the telltale signs, like fish dying in droves. So now, because we gotta add up some drama, the mother of Skater Boy calls the ex-husband, or baby father, or whatever he's supposed to be, and demands that her son be taken home now because of the horror that's unfolding on the news. Of course, in conventional cinematic fashion, the son is not around.
I don't trust this house. They'll be safer with us.
Us?
That is not what I meant. Can you not do this right now?
Oh my god, Jesus, this woman is a piece of work. Why is it in every single one of these movies, the ex-wife is the most insufferable and distasteful person? Maybe it's because it mirrors real life. I don't know, but good grief. Jesus. They treat the father as though he's not the person who gave you half of the genetic material. Fair enough, she carried the kid. Statistically speaking, if we're talking about protection in a situation where there is a lot of danger, the kids would be safer with their father. Even though mothers would give their lives to safeguard their young and fight someone if they need to, biologically speaking, male mammals typically outperform their female counterparts in terms of physical strength. But there's a simple fix for this that I bet the bitter woman is going to reject. Have the ex bring over the son when he finds him, and have the ex stay with you. If this woman gets upset and tells this guy he can't stay with them, she's an idiot. And she's not even really concerned about her kid, because two parents protecting a child is way better than one, which is part of the reason human beings ended up becoming monogamous in the practice.
That's his number? Uh-huh.
So her boy toy is able to just whip up a solution to track the son. How convenient.
You know, my mom, she says my dad wasn't there for her when she needed him most.
Because of course that awful woman would say something like that to her son to make him think less of his father. And I bet you he only got her side of the story. Was he the kind of guy that was busy and worked long hours but made a lot of money, and she knew about that before she married him and then got upset about it after the fact and pretended as though she didn't know what his job entailed? It frustrates me how some people, both in movies and in real life, enter into relationships and act surprised when their partner exhibits the same personality and behaviors that they had prior to the relationship becoming serious. Anyway, people start freaking out when they see a recreation of Birdemic, even though I gotta hand it to this movie, it looks far better than it's supposed to when there are no monsters around. When traffic stops at a bridge so everyone can watch the birds flying by in a panic, the father, ex-husband dude, gets a text from his son. And I guess the new boyfriend of the mom is some important person because he has a reservation of the shelter and whatnot. This guy has one of those lips that makes it look like you don't know whether or not his mouth is open or closed. This whole scene here actually did a very good job of portraying suspense, but then the illusion is broken when you see how badly rendered the monster is. See what I mean? Just takes me right out of it. That's the money shot right there. Father guy gets his son and his son's girlfriend. Once again, it's up to him to protect them. Look, the new boyfriend gave. I know darn well he wants him to stay out of that car, but seriously, how are you going to tell your new stepson, the child of your new bride, that you want his father to die? I honestly thought the ex-wife or ex-girlfriend was going to tell him that he couldn't get in the car. That's how horrible of a person she seems.
Please.
You can actually feel the tension in the car. Okay there, buckaroo, calm down. Probably the first time you've seen a girl make eye contact with him in a long while. So, riddle me this. They see a bunch of these fanatic cult members on the street, and after having one just bang on your window that way, with that stare, why would you still have your windows open and no less your freaking arm hanging out?
Women and children only.
That's not how I expected this to go, because it's clear that the son is not exactly a child either. If it's at full capacity, wouldn't they choose people who are way younger than someone who's like 20 years old? I get it in the movie, he's supposed to be like 18 or 16 or something, but does he look like a child to you? You're telling me that they're gonna turn away kids who are like 7 and 8 for some dude who's capable of fighting alongside the men?
No, I'm sorry.
Tyler!
Oh, Tyler, damn it! I'm not gonna leave. No, he is my dad. I'm gonna stay with him.
Aww. Okay, now this part I actually really liked. The son left the line to go after his father and tells his mom that he's my dad. I'm staying with him. You cannot separate a boy from his father, especially when the boy is basically almost an adult. He probably in his mind as a man or a male child or whatever he's supposed to be, thinks that he's gonna be staying with women and children while his father as a man has to stay out there and protect or do his best to. I mean, I'm a girl and I would have left the line to go with my daddy. I wouldn't have left it. I can't. There is no freaking parallel universe or outcome where I'm leaving my daddy there. I love my mom and I know she'd be safe, but I would not be able to live with myself knowing that my dad's out there by himself. My dad would probably hold me by my hair and get the soldiers to force me to stay, but if I could get away with it, I would fight tooth and nail to stay with my dad. They would have to peel my lifeless arms off of him to get me to let him go. So this is completely believable and completely relatable for me. I know this makes no sense saying this now, but I have to get it off my chest. If you all had stayed together, you know, and weren't spending all that time bitching, this probably wouldn't have happened. At this moment, I was expecting the woman to somehow find a way to blame the guy, even though her son is the one who made up his own mind to leave the line, and the girlfriend went after him. But she keeps her mouth shut. Good on her. So, like moments before the purge, they're all freaking out, wondering where to go. You know, this next scene would have been amazing if it weren't for the very casual and easygoing traffic in the distance that they forgot about. What is this? What? Look at the easygoing rush hour traffic as though nothing is happening. Look at that. Just look at that. Isn't that funny? It just completely takes me out of the immersion of the whole film. Everyone is freaking out. Meanwhile, there is normal, everyday traffic in the distance happening as we speak. Almost as though they're in completely two different worlds. What in the hell? It makes no freaking sense.
Laura, go see if there's a door.
Yeah, let's all waste precious time by just standing here.
I know a way to the LA River. We can take it all the way to the dirt.
I'll drive.
Come on,
Let me drive.
Hey.
So the father says he knows a way to LA City or whatever they're talking about, and then he'll drive because he knows the way. Don't know how he's gonna drive through all of that because everybody just stopped. Their cars are just randomly all over the place. But anyway, the plot will provide them with a straight line to drive through. But then this asshole man toy says he'll drive and then starts a fight when those freaking monsters are on the horizon.
Come on,
Let me drive.
Hey.
I got it.
What the hell is even there to fight about? I get that he's scared, but this is such an irrational behavior for someone who actually wants to preserve their life.
No! This is my car!
Not anymore, buddy. You know, he did that to himself because none of that made any sense to start a fight over. So as they're driving away, this lone monster comes up here. That monster has a smorgasbord of people up there screaming and running and just easy for the pickings, and it's concerned with the one thing that is going away from it almost faster than it can fly. So while they're having a conversation and the wife looks like she's not the least bit broken up that her whoever that was supposed to be is dead, we find out that salt and cold temperatures kill the monsters. When did they discover this? Why did they not make salt spewing weapons?
Some say it's God's will.
Are they here to test us?
What would be the test? How not to die in 50 seconds? I don't know why, but this lady looks like Spencer from Pretty Little Liars, some more jacked up version. So the family need a new ride due to the SUV having run out of gas because of course it did. Some guy pulls over the husband and is like, shh. The fact that he's hiding out in the back seat, just sitting in his car, instantly lets us know that danger is amiss. Okay, that would have legitimately been a scary scene. If the ass end of the monster didn't resemble a low polygon hot dog meat, you can even see it kind of like sliding on the ground there. Like it's not really there. Okay, but the front end though. Dude, that monster design is impressive. And this is actually the best render I've seen of any of the monsters in this movie. And that's probably because it's moving very slowly and because it's obscured through the windshield filter. It still looks kind of terrifying, and the fact that it's slowly walking towards them while they're locked in the car, I would love to see this movie remade exactly the way it is, with the exact same plot points and concept, but to have someone actually spend a little bit more on the VFX for the creatures. Okay, that was a really scary scene, or not really scary, but it was tense the first time I saw it. It was well done. It feels like a completely different director and team did this entire part. The angle of this thing walking by and then it's stopping to check out the car, oh my god, I would have pissed myself.
Come on, no. It really catches attention.
So they exclaim because the thing starts eating a dead body in the ground, but then this woman puts the car in drive. I can't really exactly blame her because she wants to get as far away from this thing as possible, but I love the way her son is like, I know you're not trying to do this right now and draw attention.
Come on, no.
He legitimately seems scared because he's like, bitch, what are you doing? If this stuff can span the globe in a matter of what seems like only days with monsters that run on 2 legs and they can cross the oceans, no problem, what makes you think this thing can't catch up to your car? So the father starts the big SUV thing while the owner of the car is completely terrified, hiding out in the back seat because he's smart. I really hope this new character doesn't die because he did all the right things and it would just be an insult to injury. Listen to the music and look at the scene of the father slowly easing this big tank of a vehicle back towards where his family car is. The suspense is really well done in this scene. And of course, this man goes out and tries to put salt on this thing. This poor man risked his life to save his family and he lost it. He's a decent actor because I actually believe that he was terrified. The actors aren't even that horrible in this movie, to be honest, aside from the crappy CGI. The Day of Reckoning movie really isn't that terrible. Well, they reached their destination to Uncle Ted's place, but he's not letting them in. Poor family don't realize that poor Uncle Ted is being held at gunpoint.
Dad.
Okay, that part was kind of creepy. If you had taken out the fact that they were all already on their way, if they had just shown up over the wall, that would have been better directed. Can you imagine being in that situation and realize that you're locked out of the only place that could keep you safe? One of the major things wrong with this scene is how stupid it is that this entire horde would split off from the obviously well-populated areas to all convene at this one location where there's only a few people here. Seriously, why do they need to be so many of them? So they can show off the CGI and the fact that they can make things look like there's a lot of them, even though it's clear they're all just copy-pasted.
Please open the door, Uncle Ted.
Oh my god. Did they really Jon Snow this scene? Oh my god, the cringe. Anyway, at the last minute, just like with the Jon Snow scene, Ted lets them in because I guess he had an understanding with the person who held him at gunpoint. Turns out this guy's father did action with Ted, but it's clear ex-husband father dude is worried about this guy because he just has a weary look. Also, nobody else is supposed to know about this place except for Ted and him.
I sat on bothering you, friend.
Ben's made me nervous.
Why would they make you nervous? They're inanimate objects. They don't have the ability to just jump up and bite you. Now, what I would say is that the person makes me nervous, and the fact that he has a gun and that he looks wary makes me nervous because he's obviously someone they don't know and someone that possibly has ill intent. It doesn't help that nobody else there is armed. They start swapping stories, and the army guy tells them what happened on the first day of reckoning and where he was and how he survived, while Big Brother Ted points to the knife to let ex-husband Dude know they should pick it up.
That's why they call it the Day of Reckoning. It's the day God gives to the devil.
How awfully nice of him. He sure does it a lot, doesn't he? There's a convenient hole that one of the monsters can squeeze through that just came out of nowhere.
Hey, we're all in here together. All right, this is crazy. No one's gonna do anything.
Why'd you?
Can't exactly blame the soldier guy because you just found out that Father Dude had a knife, and then Father Dude has the audacity to tell him that no one's gonna do anything. He made it so eerily obvious by telling the wife she shouldn't go to sleep. He could have been honest and just said, hey, you have a gun. We at least wanted to have something to arm ourselves. I mean, you can run out of bullets, but the knife can't run out of its stabs. Later, the girlfriend, the Britney Spears eyes that look like they're melting off her face, tells everyone to shut up because they can't hear anything. The monsters have been banging on this place for a while, and they've all suddenly gone quiet. Oh my god, these characters are so annoying. While I understand where stupid ex-husband Dude is coming from to some degree, if the soldier wanted to kill you, he would have killed you already. He already explained prior to this event that the old man was gonna let him in, or wasn't going to let him in, despite them knowing each other, but the wife had a soft heart and let him in. From his point of view, the old man would have left him to die or sees him as a threat. So of course he's gonna be on high alert. If he was truly evil, he would have kicked them out or killed them already, which he didn't. So then let me get this straight. You already determined that this guy isn't actually looking to off you, and yet you go ahead to make a move to take him out, which naturally puts him on high alert, but even after all of that, he still doesn't finish you off. So can we safely assume that this guy doesn't want you dead? Okay then. So why, in God's green earth, or in this case, the devil's bare backside, would you attack the soldier? The only person in the room who was the most skillful with a firearm. And not just any firearm, but his firearm. He's a soldier. And then you empty the clip on the freaking monster. It's so annoying. Does it make sense to take the weapon from the only person in the room who is skilled enough to use it? I swear the father guy is acting as though he wants to be the hero to his own story, and it makes zero sense. When the son earlier attacked the soldier, and that was the time that they could have all piled on him and taken away his stuff. But this is the time you choose to attack the soldier and take his gun? Really? Honestly, the fact that the father said that guns make him nervous is more of a reason why he shouldn't be using one. And here's proof. Look at that shit. Oh my god. As someone who owns firearms, this is so cringe. Guns make you nervous. You don't know how to really use one. You shouldn't have it. The guy takes this and almost fucking shoots his son. His son is right there. He doesn't even have the awareness to see where he's shooting. His son barely moves out of the way, like he could have hit him. What in the hell? Like what? And all this time, he is trying to shoot at this thing. He doesn't know how to use the gun, so he doesn't know how to aim, and he's just aimlessly shooting around the room. Like everyone, like you could have hit your boy. His son is just sitting there like, oh my god. By the way, the CGI in those bullet holes looks awful. He's so concentrated on trying to shoot that thing and not even knowing what to do. That he doesn't even care who's in his way, including his own child. God, it gets on my nerves. Let's not have the soldier who's trained to kill these things, who's seen action before in the last day of reckoning and has killed these monsters and survived. Yeah, let's not have him take care of the problem. Wasting bullets. Wow, he looks so stupid right now. You had a gun point blank and you were just shooting aimlessly in this tiny little room in which your family is in without any thought whatsoever. The soldier would not have done that, and notice that the soldier has incredible trigger discipline, despite all the shit he's had to put up with these people. Yeah, you're nice and scared. This is the reason why I can't stand this dude, aside from the fact that his face looks like it's melting off half the time. Oh!
It's gonna be all right, baby.
Is it though? She's pouring a river of human juice out the side of her neck. The dumb father dude tells everyone to tie up the guy. It'd be funny if he had no more bullets, so I'm pretty sure the soldier would know that. And oh boy, the bull shows up. Oh shit. Yeah, I'd be freaking out. Out of all the Microsoft Paint monsters in this movie, this one's my favorite. Also, let's make it nice and dark so we can't see the imperfections, and even in trying to do so, you still end up seeing them. Also, how many times are they going to use the same clip over and over and over again? Look, the monster bangs, and then he puts his arms back Naruto style and is like, roar! Like, I'm pretty sure the monster would have realized by now that banging twice and then stopping to roar at the door isn't really doing anything. And it's the only clip they use. Well, since Kool-Aid Bull is here, they get out after the soldier tells him that he can direct them to his people's facility at the gate where the monsters came from.
I didn't even say anything.
It's just your timing. As always, it's...
Well, not everything revolves around your schedule.
This fool has the nerve to be rude to him after he's the reason they're all still alive outside of Ted letting them in the facility. I mean, yeah, he was a dumbass, but he was the one who got them to this place. And even in the midst of it, she has the gall to continue to insult him. Honestly, I would not shed a tear if this character died. She's an idiot, and she's a bitter, disgusting monster, just as bad as the other monsters out there. She just sucks the life drain dry from everything around her. This is where I realize I'm honestly beginning to hate some of these characters. I mean, you can obviously see a monster in front of you as subtle as a sledgehammer to the face, yet your primary inclination is to lay down your weapon and walk up to it as close as possible. At least the others are smart and tell him not to get close to it. They deduce that it's dead and the parents tell stupid dude it doesn't matter, don't go close to it. And then right afterwards, his girlfriend decides to natural selection herself.
Maddie.
It's truly baffling, isn't it? Why do writers intentionally create characters that act foolishly and make such terrible decisions over and over again? It becomes so tiresome and unrealistic. But then again, people do this all the time in the real world. If she had listened, that would not have happened. After the soldier convinces Father to cut him free, we find out just for us, the audience, that he's been infected. The soldier makes it to his vehicle, but the car isn't starting.
Start the car. Come on. Start the car.
What is with the double use of that same clip? And if he could, he would have already, you stupid idiot. Did their brains fly out of their heads in the last scene or something? Also, the graphics. Oh my god. Ugh. Look, they jump and they're all just flea flicking as if gravity is having them stuck to the it's so disgusting. God damn it. Stella is super infected. Her husband tries to convince her to come back in, but she's not thinking clearly. She then sacrifices herself, which really doesn't make a difference, but it's because she didn't want to turn into one of those things. Again, we have these stupid creatures that apparently when they're at rest, they just do the same action, which is swinging and then sticking their arms behind them and roaring like they're idiots. These movies really could have something going for them if the immersion didn't keep getting broken every turn in every scene. Immediately, my eyes are drawn to the very normal rush hour traffic we see happening in the very near distance. It's as if whatever is going on is only happening to their characters in their heads and the rest of the world is operating as normal. They green screen the creatures, you couldn't green screen the background? The whole shot is not even in the scene, so it wouldn't have needed to be that difficult to cut it off utilizing your angles, but it's clear they were only cutting corners. I know, it's something that seems so trivial, but it's monumentally distracting to me. Anyway, the old man Ted is infected now. While they're treating him, they found out that the monsters are inside the facility, which makes sense. I mean, the door was open. Oh, once again, it's proven, so they can be killed with guns. And notice how the soldier is the one with the firearm, and he took down the monster without any of the bullets missing their target or him hitting the other people.
Hey!
Why am I laughing right now? Usually, you know, I would think people like this, the soldier who just left them there, is horrible. Like, how could they do that? But the family sees after having heard the gunshots that more monsters are making their way to them, but yet they all just freaking stand there looking at the monsters like they're dumb. So of course the soldier dips, because he sees these people are stupid and a freaking liability. At this point, I don't really blame him because of how dumb the characters are, namely the father. However, to be fair, the soldier's also stupid because it's much easier to survive if you have other people watching your back. It's how you literally just survived the encounter that you got out of. He stabbed himself with something that I guess is supposed to be some sort of cure. Oh, since Father Dude's about to put his life on the line to save his family, suddenly she starts to be nice to him. I mean, the guy's already gone above and beyond multiple times before, and now she starts being nice to him at the 11th hour. Not sure if the saying better late than never applies in this situation. If it does, she's definitely pushing the limits of late.
Is this really the time for that?
As someone who just lost their wife in a horrible situation, and you've conveniently forgotten, it seems like, you're the last person who should be having a problem with them at least getting to say goodbye. Give the man some slack. He might die and never get to kiss lips again. Anyway, he almost bites the dust until he turns one of the monsters into dust, which is weird because sometimes when they throw salt at these monsters, it works, and then sometimes it doesn't. As a matter of fact, most of the time it doesn't.
Make room, mate.
How nice of the monster to just wait for them. That's something they never do, but in this situation they do. And how is that old man packing that much freaking power in his swings? I guess physics is not a thing in this world. I guess these monsters don't have any weight to them whatsoever. They're freaking paper. The old man is attacked and the sprinkler salt system comes on with the salt water. Father was a little late setting that off, wasn't he? If only the salt water had come on a little bit earlier. All the monsters start dying. I wonder if you flick your tears at the monster if it will set them on fire. It's wonderful that they use salt water to do this, even though it makes me wonder why nobody else thought this was a good idea when they found out that salt affects the monsters, being as like 70% of our planet as freaking salt water. As a matter of fact, sorry, I'm wrong. 96%, over 96%, as it says, of the world's water, the majority of the water on Earth's surface is the salt water in the oceans. And 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by water in general. Most of that is the oceans. So don't tell me they did not have the availability of salt water to kill these things. And that makes me also wonder if how are the leg creatures able to get across the globe if they would have had to cross the oceans to do so? I was even willing to bet maybe they can swim or walk on the bottom of the ocean, but they would literally have to cross through the very medium and the very thing that would kill them regardless. So this movie's whole thing makes no sense. The flying birds I can understand, but really? Oh, looky who, just at that moment, all the monsters from around the world decide to come back. How lucky. They're running past all these lockers. I would have just locked myself in one of the lockers, because they're clearly going back to where they came from. So just wait it out. Uh-oh. This guy's here. I guess it's safe to say whatever he tried didn't work. I wonder if you drink a copious amount of salt water, will that kill the sickness? Another money shot. I gotta admit, some of the designs are kind of badass. And then it opens its mouth and uses the stock sound effect for a monster roar, and I'm lost. See what I mean? So they all make a salt bomb, and they literally pop the monster with salt. I'm freaking dead. This movie made me want to hide myself inside a suitcase. And this random dysfunctional family is the one that figures out everything, right? Just like in The Quiet Place. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.